conference, but this year New Mexico has been the front runner. In fact, the Lobos could practically lock up an at-large with a win tonight, but the Aztecs need a win and have a great test at home against the rival tonight. The fans are ready. It is a sold-out Viejas Arena here atop the Montezuma Mesa. We are ready to go for a big-time college basketball game late in the season in the Mountain West tonight. And you look at this matchup and where New Mexico is, they have been the top of the league, really the entire conference slate. San Diego State, 3 home losses this year. That just doesn't happen to Brian Dutcher's Aztecs, but 2 of the top teams in this league vying for spots in the NCAA tournament. As we take a look at the starting lineups in this game for New Mexico, they're happy to see Mustafa Amsil back in there. He's missed the last couple of games with a foot injury. And then you look for San Diego State, a big piece that is not in the lineup tonight. Magoon Guath, their star center, is out with a knee injury. They do think he'll be back by the end of the season. They hope so anyway. At this point, he is week to week. As we welcome in Casey Jacobson. And Casey, who are some of the players you're keeping an eye on tonight? Obviously, Dent, one of the best players in the league.
Yeah, it all starts with Donovan Dent for the Lobos. And I know what Dent's thinking tonight. With Aztec shot blocker Magoon Guath out of the lineup, Dent will be looking to put pressure on the rim all game long. And for the Aztecs, I'm looking at Miles Bird. He's had a good season, but he's still struggling to find consistency on the offensive end. Just 1 for his last 11 from the three-point line. He must be better tonight.
Both teams coming off of losses, and again, 2 of the best teams in this league in a monumental game as the opening tip is won by San Diego State. Our officials tonight, Thomas Nunez, Jason Phillips, and Scott Brown. Right away, Miles Heide, who's getting the start for Magoon Guath. Just the 6th start of his career. Open look up top. B.J. Davis drills it.
How about that left-hand hook pass cross-court from Nick Boyd? That was impressive. He is left-handed, so I can't give him too much credit, Trent, but enough. That's a beautiful pass.
B.J. Davis had a big game, hit 4 threes in the loss up at Utah State. He was one of the key performers in what was really a tough night for San Diego State. Got off to an awful start, battled back in that game, made it interesting towards the end without Guath. On the other side, Dent misses, and that's a rebound for Nick Boyd.
Curious to see the energy level for the New Mexico Lobos as this possession is going to stay here. New Mexico has not played in 6 days. They had a kind of a bye this weekend. And here, I have a second look at this pass. Beautifully done. Nelly Jr. Joseph was all in Boyd's face, too. That made it even more impressive.
Had a chance to talk with Richard Pitino, the head coach in New Mexico, a little bit earlier today about that. And he was saying in some ways it's kind of nice to get a reset. Okay, they saw the win streak come to an end, but now they're able to get back in transition, refresh a little bit down the home stretch here in the regular season. Amsil back in there, and there's Dent. 13 of the shot clock. Amsil short corner, 7 seconds. This is where San Diego State's real tough in this half court. Tough look for Amsil's a miss, but an offensive rebound for Nelly Jr. Joseph. Drew Washington now fires up top. It's a miss. Second chance. No, Joseph can't get it. Amsil earning another opportunity for the Lobos.
That's got to be just driving Brian Dutcher crazy, but Nelly Jr. Joseph is going to be a problem for the Aztecs all night. Look at him. He's by himself down there.
Corner look. Mustafa Amsil right in front of the Aztec bench with some English after dropping that tray.
Amsil's been up and down as a three-point shooter. He's tall, he plays a forward spot, but he really wants to hunt that three-pointer.
Heide can't hang on to it, and that's another turnover for San Diego State. Heide able to fight for it right back, though. Turns it over on one side, gets it back on the other, and now here's Miles Bird. Changed his mind in the transition.
And San Diego State a little bit more methodical on the offensive end, playing against New Mexico, who's top 5 in the country in tempo. The Aztecs do not want to get into a track meet tonight.
What a move right there. Jared Coleman-Jones channeling his inner Kareem.
Oh, we're going there, all right, okay. We're in Southern California. We're talking about Kareem. I'm with you.
And We got a skyhook down in SoCal. Feeling good tonight, Casey. This is a huge, huge game. And for Jared Coleman-Jones, who's had some trouble finishing around the bucket, this is a pretty nice move.
Yeah, I mean, look at the way he's built. I'm surprised that he has trouble finishing around anybody. And right there, getting to his right hand. I don't know, was he asking for a foul there, or was he trying to just, say no one can guard me, get off?
Well, for Jared Coleman-Jones, who on the season averaging 7.2 points a game, they're asking for him to do a little bit more tonight, Casey. Again, without Magoon-Guath, somebody's going to have to step up. And the Aztecs are, JCJ could be that guy.
Yeah, maybe it is his 6th year of college as we take a look at Richard Pitino. 4 seasons has flown by. Haven't they, Trent? Just feel like he got there yesterday.
And what a job he has done this season. I mean, this is relatively unfamiliar territory for Richard Pitino to have the kind of team that's been out in front really the entire season. But that's what this New Mexico team has done. And there's no question about it. He's one of the hot coaching names across the country right now with what this New Mexico team has done this season. Boyd, a lot of traffic. Swarming defense, and now Heidi. No whistle. Able to get rid of it. Bird saves it, 2 to shoot. Long 3 is missed, but Heidi earns a second chance. On the other side, a tray for Nick Boyd.
Look, Boyd's pounding his chest. Boyd and Miles Bird are the emotional leaders for this Aztec team. If those guys get it going, the rest of the team will follow.
So a jump ball is going to go to New Mexico as Brian Dutcher, head coach at San Diego State. What an amazing job he has done at this program. Has taken the Aztecs to the tournament 4 years in a row. Should have been 5 if not for the COVID year, but trying to make it 5 this season. And a win tonight over New Mexico could go a long way for the Aztecs. 8 to shoot for Dent, who gets fouled. It's going to go against the big fella, Miles Heidi.
It's going to take a village to stop Donovan Dent from getting downhill. He is a player that, is reluctant, or I should say judicious with his three-point shooting attempts, but if he gets a half step on you in the pick and roll, he knows how to get fouled. Last game, he shot 12 free throws against Boise State.
Isil hit on that same spot earlier, missed that time, and fighting for that rebound and earning it was Nick Boyd. Boyd was Final Four experience, the transfer from Florida Atlantic. He's on that FAU team that got beat by San Diego State a couple of years ago in the Final Four. Foul on the floor, but Jared Coleman-Jones showing some early touch on the floor. Casey Jacobson, this guy does it all.
Yeah, if you squint your eyes just a little bit, it sure does look like Kareem.
No love lost between the Lobos and the Aztecs when these teams get together. This was last year in the Mountain West title game in Las Vegas. Jalen House, 28 points. Getting that big bucket right there. Got to the hoop. New Mexico won that game 68-61. Eddie House liking that. Proud of his son right there, who's now playing pro ball here in San Diego, as a matter of fact. And you look at where these teams are at, Casey, as far as the NCAA tournament is concerned. This is a monumental game tonight.
Yeah, for both. And we talked about Richard Pitino last year. It was surprising to me, Trent, that New Mexico needed to win that Mountain West Conference Tournament final to get in. We found that out from the NCAA Selection Committee. I thought they were already safely in the field. So it was a lesson learned for Richard Pitino. He's like, we never take anything for granted. We don't think we're in the field. We're going to play desperate basketball.
Bird makes the extra pass for Heidi for the lane. And I mean, while we're looking at the Mountain West picture, I mean, Colorado State there at the bottom, there really are 5 teams still in the mix. If they get a win at Utah State on Saturday, they could be right there in the conversation. Alley-oop up top. Bird went soaring but couldn't throw it down. Quickly up ahead, Nolan trying to find Dent. Dent through Jared Coleman-Jones, and here comes second chance for the Lobos. The best big man in the Mountain West Conference, Nelly Jr. Joseph, a miss, and another offensive rebound for New Mexico. And a foul underneath against San Diego State. But on the offensive side, we're seeing the Aztecs really do a good job distributing.
Yeah, making the extra pass, turning out a good shot or a contested one. Cut. How about that cut from Miles Bird, who's got a great feel. I mentioned his struggles from the three-point arc. Miles Bird is solid in all the other areas. Excellent defender, top 40 in the nation, and steals it. But when you study his game, he has a great natural instinct on those timing cuts, and you saw it right there.
Just over 5 minutes in, San Diego State, the 5-point lead. They're on their home floor as Nolan up top takes a three and makes a three.
Yeah, the senior leader. The senior sixth man, he comes in, and any offensive outburst they can get from him is just gravy. But he is an absolute leader, and defensively he'll get in you. A nice start for him offensively.
For the Aztecs tonight, some balance on the offensive end. 4 different buckets by 4 different players. Boyd, a lot of traffic. It's a good look for Jared Coleman. Jones missed it strong as McKinney couldn't quite get that offensive board. And now here comes New Mexico in transition. You got to watch for them when they get out and run. 3 on the right side and draining it. Jovan Milicevic.
And similar, he's a forward who rarely, if ever, gets back to the basket post-up touches. He is shooting threes.
And there to respond was Nick Boyd on the right side. Going back to Milicevic for a moment. The last couple of games he started for Omsil as he lost the handle on it there, goes out of bounds. He likes his role coming off the bench and showed he can shoot it. There's New Mexico. Teams trading threes right now, starting with Nolan.
Yeah, we have 8 total made field goals by these two teams. 6 of them have been from the three-point arc. It's a three-point party, and we're all invited. How about that skip pass? And we've seen a lot of really nice passes. Everybody's got their head up on both sides. Who can establish a defensive identity in this game?
If it's a three-point party, I know my partner Casey Jacobson is on the guest list. I'm still standing out in line and hoping the velvet rope will let me through.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to let you in, Trent.
To the bucket, Boyd, and again, making the extra pass, but that time turns it over. Nolan. Got it stripped. Here comes Boyd. Aztecs flying. Swatted away. Great transition defense. And now here come the Lobos in transition. Dent. Got it.
What a block by True Washington. Aztec offense had no idea where he was, and that is the type of tempo that New Mexico needs and wants. They are the fresher team. They're better in transition. They lead the country in fast break points per game.
True Washington, just a defensive thorn. Guy that's averaging 3 steals a night over his last 6 games with that swat that led to a bucket on the other side. 2 to shoot for Heidi. Turnaround hook miss, but another chance coming for the Aztecs. Boyd, great look. Missed it. And that's going to be New Mexico ball, but boy, True Washington with some ups getting back in transition.
Yeah, the sophomore patrolling, and with the left too. If he tries to block that with the right hand, that's going to be a foul. But how about the dexterity that he's got in midair to block that? And then they score at the other end. Donovan Dent gets his first bucket to go, 1 for 3 from the field.
Milicevic, shooter's touch roll for the Lobos.
A defensive
Just
mistake.
like that, this game's tied.
Yeah, Trent, a defensive mistake there by Heidi. Forgetting, your position and who you're guarding. Milicevic, again, is just a three-point shooter. You don't need to really worry about anybody else down low. Know who you're guarding.
Correction, that actually gives New Mexico a 3-point lead. Lobos have now made 4 straight shots. San Diego State, a 2-minute scoring drought. Deep in the clock for Heidi, weaving his way through, trying to earn a second chance bucket, and does. You can tell we got a thriller already. High pass to Washington. Comes free. Heide nearly took it away, saved by Dent. 10 seconds. Dent needs somewhere to go. Nolan takes the catch. Short.
New Mexico needs to be careful by taking too many dribbles. I feel like they're taking one extra dribble, and when you do that against the Aztecs, they're going to get a deflection.
Farrell Compton to the hoop. Aztecs back in front. Dent quickly. That's going to be a block shot. Timeout on the floor. We will take 1-2. Back and forth we go. Farrell Compton getting to the bucket.
There's not a lot of freshmen that can earn minutes for Brian Dutcher's squad, but this young man is strong enough.
We haven't even played 10 minutes. We've seen 4 lead changes, 3 ties. San Diego State up by 1 right now, and the three-point parade has been something special, Casey Jacobson.
And a little bit surprising for New Mexico. In the first matchup against San Diego State, the Lobos made 6 total three-pointers in the entire game. Tonight, in just 10 minutes, they've already made 4 by 3 different guys. The ball's hopping around, and San Diego State is late to close out. And it's also surprising because this New Mexico team, Trent, they only average 21 three-point shots per game. Richard Pitino, they like when Donovan Dent gets to go downhill and get to the rim. Nelly Jr. Joseph post-ups or offensive rebounds. But tonight, it's been the 3-ball that has kept this game really close.
New Mexico clearly a transition team. They lead the country in fast break points. But when you get to the half court, I feel like maybe that's where San Diego State has the advantage, and so far that's played out. Underneath, Compton, another extra pass. Heide gets hit going up, and he'll get a couple of free throws. And you know that Richard Pitino likes to get his team out and running. So you'll see Heide go to the stripe.
So Richard Pitino is now in his 4th year, Trent, and every season they've been in the top 25 in tempo. It is clear what type of style or brand of basketball that he's comfortable with, and it's just been really nice. So last year he loses guys like Jamal Mashburn, who's now one of the top scorers in the country at Temple. You mentioned Jalen House, who's playing pro ball in San Diego. Those are 2 of the fastest players in the country last year. Those guys move on, and Donovan Dent takes a big step forward as a junior. He's ready to be a star.
It's amazing what this New Mexico team has done this season. You mentioned the departure of those 2, and then you got JT Toppin, who's the leading scorer at 10th-ranked team of the country in Texas Tech. And all these guys were a part of this New Mexico team last year that had to win the Mountain West tournament to get in. And now Donovan Dent and Nelly Jr. Joseph have led a New Mexico team that feels like, well, they get a W tonight. They're going to be in phenomenal shape even before the calendar hits March.
Absolutely.
With a chance to go to the dance.
Trent, can you imagine this team with JT Toppin on it as well? So you would have Toppin at the small forward and Nelly Jr. Joseph at the 5. I mean, they'd be a top 15 team in the country.
Bird takes it away, trying to dump it back to Compton, but boy, Donovan Dent was right there. Ball comes right back. Lobos in fast forward and a foul. It might seem helter-skelter tonight, but this is the way New Mexico likes to play.
Yeah, they like the style, but they also, obviously they want to keep their turnovers low. You want to take advantage of your strengths in the open floor where you have more space to drive, but you can't be careless with the basketball and over-dribble. And I feel like the Lobos tonight, I've already mentioned it once, I'll mention it again, they need to make the pass earlier, like right there. That needed to be a half-second sooner.
Nelly Jr. Joseph behind his head. 8 to shoot for Omsu. Dent has a poke free. Borovicin just got to put it up, and that's a shot clock violation, and that stingy San Diego State defense showing right there.
And it was a team effort on that possession, Trent, but I think B.J. Davis, number 10 in white, deserves a special shout-out. He was all inside of Donovan Dent's jersey. A tough guy to stay in front of. He's doing a nice job of making it difficult. He can barely breathe out there.
San Diego State, the 12th toughest team to score against in all of college basketball when it comes to shooting percentage against them. Second in the nation, only behind Tennessee. I mean, opposing teams shoot 37.2% against San Diego State. It's just insane how good San Diego State is on the defensive side. But it feels like every year Brian Toucher's team is just elite on that end of the floor.
They have an identity. When you think San Diego State basketball, you think elite defensive versatility and length. I mean, they're as good of a defensive program as teams like Tennessee with Rick Barnes and Houston with Kelvin Sampson. I mean, they're on that level. It's the offense, Trent, that has been wildly inconsistent for the Aztecs.
Jared Coleman-Jones had a free lane, couldn't get the lay-in to drop. And even a night like tonight, as Omsiel launches from the left wing, missed it strong. San Diego State playing without Magoon Guath, and still in this game, I mean, we're past the midway point in the first half. Lobos have 2 points in the paint. That's without the Aztecs' best rim protector. Jared Coleman-Jones missed the easy one, but made the much tougher shot to extend the Aztec lead.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, he could have had an easy dunk on the previous possession, and then he hits a behind-the-back step back. I don't know. I don't know what to make of that.
He's made a couple of tough ones tonight. That's Washington missing the three. Lobos were hot from distance early. They're starting to fall in love with that three-point jump shot. Boyd, back to Jared Coleman-Jones. Yes, sir! 9-0 run for San Diego State. Dent the silencer to the Montezuma Mesa. And an and one when we come back. My goodness gracious. The top about to blow off here with Jared Coleman-Jones showing he can do it all. This is going to be fun. Fox Sports proud to present a new postseason tournament. The college basketball crown. 16 teams from the top conferences put it all on the line for a new kind of madness coming this March. Live from Las Vegas only on Fox. You can buy your tickets now in the Vivid Seats app or at vividseats.com. Jared Coleman-Jones for San Diego State only averages 7 points a game. He already has 7 points tonight, and he's done so in a lot of different ways, Casey.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big guy. He showed us his Kareem skyhook to start this game, and then the last two buckets of his have been on the perimeter, showing his excellent range from mid and from three. Really talented. Last two games combined, he only has 7 points. He's already got 7 in this one.
Brian Dutcher looking bewildered himself to see Jared Coleman-Jones with San Diego State with a three-point lead after the three-point play was converted by Donovan Dent. I got to imagine Dent, the front runner for Player of the Year in the Mountain West Conference. And that's going to go off of Boyd rather, Troy Washington. Able to force it, and this San Diego State team playing without Magoon Guath tonight, a huge piece that's missing in that front court.
5th in the country in block shots is Magoon Guath, the redshirt freshman. So a massive piece. When it's not only like the blocks numbers, Trent, it's also like the way he alters the game and kind of makes guys like Donovan Dent think twice about driving the lane.
The one thing about San Diego State is they have front court depth. I mean, you don't replace Magoon Guath, but Jared Coleman-Jones has played well, Miles Heide has played well, and Taj DeGorville getting an opportunity in the front court now. Yeah,
and Pharaoh Compton as well. So yeah, there he is, sure. Magoon Guath. So your point is well made, Trent, but none of those guys block shots like this guy. That's his superpower, right? Every guy has got a strength and a weakness, and this young man has great instincts protecting the rim without getting giving up fouls.
Meanwhile, that last foul was on Donovan Dent, and that's his second. DeGorville in the corner misses. Tipped alive by Coleman-Jones, and a second chance coming for San Diego State. Coleman-Jones thought about the heat check, the turnaround spin, and and a missed shot on the front of the iron.
Yeah, Coleman Jones is like morphed into Kevin Durant out here. Spin moves, fadeaways, all that stuff. I'm impressed.
It's like, I'm going to make sure you don't miss Magoon-Guap tonight. I'm going to take over. We've seen some of that early, and well, Aztecs benefit. We got a 3-point lead right now. Compton poked it away. Stays with New Mexico. 13 of the shot clock for Washington. Kicked into the corner. Omsil, no. And now Boyd's looking to get out and run. Boyd all the way to the bucket, lays it in with the left hand. Fans getting into it here in San Diego. It'll stay with New Mexico. But how about Nick Boyd turning on the Jets?
Yeah, he's already got 8 points game high. And even in slow-mo, Trent, he moves faster than I could in full motion. Yeah, these are, we have two lead guards, Nick Boyd and Donovan Dent. When they get out in the open floor, it's like the floor is tilted downhill.
Compton with the takeaway. Now Compton in transition. Oh my! Timeout, New Mexico. San Diego State up by 7, their biggest lead, as Farrell Compton just brought the house down.
I don't know who he's calling on that pretend phone, but I know it's not a long distance number, Trent. That is a domestic number right at the rim. How about this? The lefty, Nelly Jr. Joseph couldn't get there quick enough.
He forces the turnover and then gets out in transition. You're wondering, does the big fella have enough juice? Is he going to be able to get there? And well, sure enough, that was something special for the freshman Farrell Compton. Oh my goodness.
And you can see the emotions. Man, I love college basketball so much. I know there's a lot of NBA hoops going on, but show me any NBA games that have this kind of emotion from the crowds and from the players. But Farrell Compton almost ripped off his uniform to show everybody in the crowd who he represents.
They know how big of a game this is in San Diego. The buzz around town all day has been electric, and Farrell Compton has played well in big games. I mean, let's not forget, San Diego State beat Houston earlier this year. Compton at 13. Now Bird with the takeaway as he gets shoved going to the bucket. And he's going to get 2 fouls, or 2 shots on the foul, and we'll see if there's any more on a hard contact play with Bird.
Yeah, the call on the floor is a common foul, Trent, but the referees are getting together right now, thinking about upgrading possibly. That's absolutely. He's already mid-air, and Dotson grabs him from behind and kind of yanks him down. Super dangerous play here. This should be a flagrant 1.
That's a freshman in Cade Dotson from Beaumont, Texas, and a freshman mistake. It's clearly that's a flagrant 1, but that's also
previous play is under review. Common foul has been ruled on the floor.
But at the same time, Casey, you almost wonder, that's a freshman just kind of making a freshman mistake on a play like that, you'd think.
Yeah, he doesn't play a lot, Dotson's. He's in there just trying to, make an energy effort play and make sure that the crowd doesn't get even more into it with a second consecutive dunk. But he's not really thinking, right? Not really thinking clearly. This is, you have to go for the ball. If he goes for the ball and there's a ton of contact, then we're telling a different story.
I have to imagine this probably won't be a long review. I mean, that's a scary play, too. When Miles Bird goes up in the air on a fast break chance and then goes down like that. For a while, everyone was holding their breath as Bird went flying, that they were ready for a big-time throwdown. And then all of a sudden just wanted to make sure that he could stick the landing, and it looked like he's okay. And clearly San Diego State already dealing with some injury trouble, but for the freshman Dotson, you mentioned doesn't play a ton. He's 8 points in the last 7 games.
Yeah, they're going to him a little bit because Donovan Dent already has 2 fouls, so trying to buy him a little extra time on the bench. Well, Trent, you cursed us. You said this is going to be a short review. One of the issues, though, is that's Tommy Nunez at the scores table right now. He's the lead official tonight. You have to get 2/3. There's 3 officials. You have to get 2 of the 3 to agree, and that's why they kind of take turns looking at the different reviews, 2 at a time at the monitor, and clearly they don't. Clearly, it's not obvious to them.
After review, the call has been overturned, upgraded to a flagrant 1.
Okay, so it took a minute or 2 longer than we thought it was going to take, but ultimately they get the call right. It was clearly a flagrant, and now San Diego State with a lot of momentum, trying to add to that here. And you think about just the stakes for a game like this, Casey. Like, obviously, New Mexico would love to go on the road and get this win at San Diego State tonight. But New Mexico loses this game, they're still going to be okay. San Diego State, this is like their last big chance. And I know that they're going to play some other teams in the Mountain West, the final 3 after tonight. But this is a huge one for the Aztecs to try to get off the bubble. Mike DeCourcy has them right now as a last 4 in. This is their chance to create a little bit of separation and show that they are going to be a tournament team for a 5th straight season.
No doubt, and college basketball fans are just used to, by now, having the Aztecs in the field. It's just how we view it, right? You know, San Diego State, looking at their resume, though, they don't have, their worst loss was at home against UNLV as Nick Boyd misses a 3. Besides that, all their losses have been close to good teams.
Ball is still bouncing around, finally secured by Junior Joseph. The freshman underneath, some nice moves for a score. Jovan Milicevic.
A rare 2 for Milicevic down there. I mentioned before, he often running the break, he spots up in the corner for 3s.
If you go by the net standings, San Diego State played the 7th toughest schedule in all college basketball. And great job by Bird to keep a fast break bucket away from Donovan Dent. Aztecs get another life.
Well, you mentioned their tough schedule, Trent. How about the fact that they beat Houston, a team that just never loses in the Big 12? That win keeps getting better and better every game.
The lob to Compton went down with it and then missed the bunny at the basket. And transition Trey. Missed. And that's going to be an over the bag going against True Washington. And that'll be his first.
And New Mexico offensively having a tough time, just shooting 32% from the field with 8 turnovers. So Richard Pitino's, there's only 4.5 minutes to go, but a lot of adjustments here. They haven't been able to get Donovan Dent really free at all in this game. And Nelly Junior Joseph, their second leading scorer and starting center for the Lobos, 0 points so far.
Nelly Junior Joseph has been silent so far in this first half. And you thought he could have a big advantage with no Groff tonight, but the reserve bigs for San Diego State have stepped up, but Compton couldn't get that one. Washington on the baseline. Dent trying to be a spark plug. Tough shot, and Donovan Dent drilled it.
Again, good defense by B.J. Davis, who's really taken on that personal challenge. That's one that's like, hey, a great player makes an incredibly difficult shot. You did pretty much all you can do. Those are the shots that are not going to beat the Aztecs tonight.
Davis. Trouble on this play. True Washington nearly took it. Ball comes free out of bounds, and they're going to say it's going to be San Diego State ball coming out of the timeout. The Aztecs with a 5-point lead.
It is the biggest game, home game for the Aztecs this season, and Pharaoh Compton knows it. Even though he's a freshman, he's bringing it.
A resume builder kind of night for San Diego State. And so far, they've been able to control this game. 28-23 Aztecs. And Casey, you look at the resume for San Diego State right now. Mike DeCourcy has them last 4, and they have some good wins on a tough schedule, but you feel like this is a huge one for them tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned the tough schedule. Top 10 in the country. Their 2 best wins, you see the quad 1 and quad 2 records, 7 and 6 combined, but their 2 best wins clearly are against Houston, a top 3 team in the country, and against Creighton on a neutral floor. Both those games were on a neutral floor. Creighton competing for a Big East championship along with St. John's. So those 2 wins have aged really nicely. I mentioned the bad loss, a home loss to UNLV, a team that's kind of struggled, the Rebels, down the stretch. But so this is a massive opportunity for the Aztecs here at home, and then they finish with Wyoming, UNLV, and Nevada.
There was only 1 second on the shot clock for San Diego State to get it off, and it ends up being a violation by Bird.
That Bird looking over at the sideline, Trent, being like, hey, you guys are messing up my stats, asking me to shoot half quarters.
Yeah, tough enough time making threes at Utah State. You don't want them to have to shoot those. It's down up top. The first time these teams got together, it was really dominated by New Mexico. They won that game by 14, which is the most lopsided loss San Diego State has had all season. Aztecs held to just 68 points in that game.
48 points, Trent. The Aztecs only scored 48 points in that game. They only had 20 at halftime. They've already outscored their halftime output in that first matchup, and we still have over 3 and change. San Diego State is doing a really nice job of controlling the tempo. They've limited New Mexico in the break. They've been active hands on defense, and they're getting production from a multitude of guys.
62-48 the final on that one. Jared Coleman-Jones with the high hand early. Airballs that 3. And here comes New Mexico trying to get out and run. They've had a tough time with that, as that time Nelly Jr. Joseph was fouled underneath. Jared Coleman-Jones, his first.
That's a great example, Trent, of what makes Nelly Jr. Joseph so difficult to guard. He doesn't shoot perimeter jumpers hardly at all, although he did hit a game-winning runner from the free throw line against Nevada, but he is a guy that runs rim to rim.
And they're trying to feed Nelly Jr. Joseph, clearly is the message coming out of the huddle, and that's going to end up being a foul against San Diego State's Wayne McKinney. His second. Also puts New Mexico in the bonus. That's now 7 against the Aztecs. So Davis back in as McKinney heads back to the bench. New Mexico shooting this what will be 4th free throw of the first half for a team that's 15th in the nation and getting to the line.
Yeah, I really feel like
the
referees have let them play. Both teams, they've been consistent. We've only had a combined 8 total foul shots in this game. So the players got to adjust a little bit. They're be a little extra aggressive, I'd say.
That one a miss and a rebound. It's Miles Bird. Aztecs trying to get something going on offense. They've missed 5 straight shots, haven't scored in close to 4 minutes. DJ Davis was huge at Utah State. The Aztecs didn't lose that game the last time out. Farrell Compton has had some big buckets early on. That time gets hit by Milicevic. And that's going to be free throws coming for Compton.
When you're guarding Farrell Compton, you have to know he is left-handed, just like Nick Boyd, just like Miles Bird. This Aztec team has several lefties. And if you're a right-handed player and you're always used to guarding right-handed post players in practice, it's got to be a mental adjustment that you can't forget.
Compton has struggled at the line this season, and that might be putting it mildly. 32% from the stripe is Compton. Shooting 2 here, rattles in the first. As Dent checks right back in for New Mexico, playing with 2 fouls.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. Watching Farrell Compton shoot free throws, the shot trajectory is flat. He's just got to bring that up a couple of feet, and his numbers will go up.
That's going to be a loose ball foul on Jared Coleman-Jones trying to get that rebound. That's now 2 on Coleman-Jones. Could be a significant foul with the depth issues already, plus with New Mexico in the bonus. That's free throws now for the Lobos. As DeGorville checks in for him.
Yeah, it's 2 fouls on Coleman-Jones, 2 fouls on Heidi. Those are your, starting and backup big men. With Magoon-Guaf out, you're basically, right now, you're in trouble.
And now a front court of DeGorville and Compton, 2 freshmen. And San Diego State, this is probably the smallest lineup they'll go with. DeGorville. With 12 to shoot. Boyd trying to stop the scoring drought. 6 seconds. Boyd, good look up top. 3 ball, missed. In transition goes New Mexico. Fans here thought Milicevic got away with the walk. Washington's pass gets taken away. DeGorville got his hand on it. Davis. Bird. Bird up top. That will end the drought. Aztecs missed 6 in a row before that, and now San Diego State goes up by 8.
And Miles Bird was just 1 for his last 12 before that three-pointer went down. He got his feet set. The pass came from the inside out.
Really good look from Bird, who gets a swat on the other side. Goes out of bounds, will stay with New Mexico. But that was a big 3, I would imagine, for the confidence of Miles Bird.
Created by Nick Boyd. Look how many defenders he drew. And then Miles Bird, that's an easy practice shot right there. The best look that he's had in a couple of games. And the crowd here, of course, going bananas. And how about the block here, too? Miles Bird, look, he's a fringe NBA draft pick right now. And I've talked to NBA scouts before, and they're like, he could be a first-rounder, most likely a second-rounder if he came out this year. If he comes back, maybe he turns into a star and moves up the board because he is a two-way player with extreme length at that 3-man position.
Defensively and athletically, he's there, absolutely. Hey, this week, Fox College Hoops Friday tips off 8 Eastern with a Big Ten showdown as 20th-ranked Purdue looks to stake their claim for the conference crown against UCLA.
Trent, we had head coach Mick Cronin in our studios last Saturday because his team didn't play until the following Sunday. It was super weird. You and I both know Mick Cronin. It's weird to have him just kind of chilling with us in the studio. He was just docile, nice, and then he steps on the court and he turns into the Hulk, man.
Donovan Dent underneath, congratulations, and a putback underneath by Philip Barichanin. Second chance bucket. Yeah, congratulations, Mick Cronin. 500 career wins.
Yeah, that's big time.
So they honored Bill Walton. But that's the second foul on Bird, by the way.
Yeah, it seems like the fouls are really piling up on the main rotation players for Brian Dutcher's squad. Again, B.J. Davis doing a fantastic job of making Donovan Dent work, but it's on the other Aztecs to get a body. Borovichnin getting second chance opportunities. So a night that's not going well shooting-wise for New Mexico. Can you generate extra possessions?
This is going to be a lane violation, which means another free throw is coming. Farrell Compton got into the lane too quickly. Casey, you mentioned the foul situation. We talked about Bird's 2, McKinney's got 2, and then in the front court, Jared Coleman-Jones and Miles Heidi, each with 2 fouls apiece. Testing the depth of this Aztec front court, and on the second chance, Borovichnin. Big San Diego State pay. So through all of this and a half that's really been dictated by San Diego State, New Mexico only down by 5. 9-second differential, shot clock game clock. Boyd trying to split the defenders, ends up coughing it up. Now Donovan Dent can hold to the last shot with 10 seconds to go in the half.
I expect Donovan Dent to shoot this ball here.
Dent towards the bucket, and a late whistle as the ball had come free, and that's going to go against B.J. Davis, his first.
And BJ, this is one he'd like to have back. He did his job. Sometimes all you have to do there is make Donovan Dent shoot a hook or a runner over you. I know it's easier said than done, right? We got our headphones on and a microphone. We don't have a jersey. We don't have to try and put our body in front of Donovan Dent. But sometimes, like, you did your job, and that's all you can do. You don't need to then try and steal or block a shot.
New Mexico's so good at getting to the line. Nobody better in the Mountain West Conference. Dent gets both. Just a one-possession game with 3.4 seconds to go here in the opening 20. Atop the Montezuma Mesa. What a game this is. One of the best in the Mountain West all season. Boyd gets bumped on the base, or sideline rather, and that's going to be a foul on True Washington. That's a big second foul, and one that was unnecessary.
Unnecessary and just a silly, brutal mistake here. You cannot have this if you're True Washington, the sophomore. He's an underclassman, but he knows better.
And that foul also puts San Diego State in the bonus. So a free 1-and-1 here for Nick Boyd. He gets the first free throw. Kind of feel like this is a gift for San Diego State, and on the road, if you're New Mexico, you got to avoid those. And I imagine that's what Richard Pitino rather, is thinking at the moment. As Boyd misses the second. Also the rebound. The overhand toss, well shy. San Diego State with a 4-point lead at the half in one of the biggest games all year in the Mountain West Conference. It's 33-29 Aztecs. Early on, it was Jared Coleman-Jones getting it going. And all the stars on display tonight in this league. When we come back, we got an update from the studio in LA with the Aztecs up 4 at home. Yeah, the San Diego State student section knows how important this one is tonight for the Aztecs. San Diego State with a 4-point halftime lead. 8th time in conference play they've held their opponent under 30 points, 33-29. The score is New Mexico, who leads the nation in fast break points. Put up a goose egg in the opening 20 minutes. Plus, Nelly Jr. Joseph held to just one first-half point, as the Lobos shot just 33%. Meanwhile, on the front court for San Diego State, man, Jared Coleman-Jones was doing it all in the first half, Casey.
Yeah, I thought the Kareem skyhook early on set the tone. How about this one? Yep, didn't know he had that one on the scouting report. Then here's the Kevin Durant step back. That surprised Nelly Jr. Joseph defensively. And then the Steph Curry three-pointer from the big man. Jared Coleman-Jones had only made 6 three-pointers total in conference play coming in. He drills that 7th one right there in the first half. The only thing that really slowed him and the front court for the Aztecs down, Trent, was that foul trouble.
All right, so he goes Kareem, Durant, Steph. I mean, let's just send the guy to Springfield now.
That's
New
it,
Mexico. Lobos have the ball to start the second half. Down by 4. Now, this is the 4th straight game that New Mexico trailed at halftime. That hasn't been an issue for them. They lost their last game, but they had won 15 of 16 before that. So trailing at halftime has not been a problem for New Mexico, but they miss on their opening possession.
Yeah, you might ask, how is that? It's not a trend you want to get into, but the spurt ability of this team, like, as B.J. Davis drills a three-pointer, a nice start for the Aztecs. New Mexico has gone on 14 different runs of 10-0 or more. That leads the Mountain West. So if you blink and they can put up some points in a hurry.
Both these teams are capable of that. Davis now 2 of 2 from distance. Washington missed everything. Nelly Jr. Joseph with 4 white jerseys around him, able to get rid of it. Washington trying to get around Coleman-Jones and was able to score, absorbing the contact.
Yeah, you saw how Miles Bird defensively took that contact. He showed the referee his hands went straight up. Bird has 2 fouls, so he didn't want to make a block attempt on that one.
It's Boyd. Davis. So far, so good from distance for him, but a lot of dribbling here and some trouble. 5 seconds to shoot now. Into the corner. Bird. Soft shot deep in the clock. Missed it, and a good rebound for True Washington.
Way too many dribbles. No penetration via the pass or the dribble. Nothing on the lane. Just pretty much call that umbrella offense where you just stand on the perimeter.
Really tough look underneath, and that was missed. Viejas. That last shot attempt, and now the Aztecs get it the other direction. Boyd. Good pass underneath, and Miles Heide able to lay it in with ease.
There's the penetration that was lacking on the previous possession. And if you allow Nick Boyd to get to that strong right hand, you are asking for trouble. New Mexico needs to make the adjustment there.
Omsil. Washington thought about it. Omsil hit one early in the game, misses strong. And the rebound comes out to San Diego State.
Nick Boyd, the starting point guard for San Diego State, was switched off on Nelly Jr. Joseph, and they couldn't get him the ball down there. They had the mismatch that they wanted, but they couldn't make it happen.
New Mexico started this game 4 of 6 from behind the arc, but now they've missed 10 in a row. Find themselves down by 7. I mean, are you kidding me? Jared Coleman-Jones out of nowhere has been unreal for San Diego State tonight.
Hey, he hasn't scored in double figures in a couple of weeks, and you would shake your head like, how is that possible with the skill set that he has?
Viejas takes the contact, and he's going to get a couple of free throws out of it.
Now, Trent, I'm running out of players to compare Coleman-Jones to. What is this one, like Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin McHale? I mean, you make the call here. Not sure.
I like the McHale comp right there. That was pretty silky smooth from Coleman-Jones.
I mean, there's just a lot of people, a lot of young people who are watching our show right now who aren't that familiar with Kevin McHale now.
That's all right. Check out YouTube. It's all there.
That's it.
40-31 and a missed free throw by the Arizona transfer, but San Diego State finding themselves in some foul trouble right now. I mean, that's 4 key players, 4 rotation guys, all with 2 fouls.
Yeah, and the bottom 2 are your forwards, right? So Brian Dutcher, I don't think he wants to go small against this New Mexico Lobo lineup, especially Junior Joseph, although they've held him in check so far. That's not their preferable lineup.
Casey, one thing that's been interesting tonight, too, and we talked about this before the game, New Mexico is the kind of team that wants to get out and run. San Diego State has really dictated the tempo. They've slowed things down. They've made this a half-court game.
And then how do you dictate tempo? You keep your turnovers low. You compete on the glass, because when you get a rebound, you get to be the one that determines, do we want to speed this game up or slow it down?
Law pass underneath. Nelly Jr. Joseph has it poked free. Here's Boyd in transition, up ahead. Bird soars for the alley-oop. And the foul on Omsil.
Well, that'll get Viejas rolling. We talked in the first half, the 2 emotional leaders for the Aztecs, Nick Boyd and Miles Bird. And Bird has not had a great shooting night. This one might get him going, though. Look how long his arms are.
Bird was hanging on the rim like a bat and converts the 3-point play. Double-digit lead for San Diego State. Aztecs by 11 as Viejas gets on their feet. Dent trying to silence him. Can't. Aztecs off and running. Boyd to the basket. Missed. Heide can't get the rebound. A lot of contact, no whistle. There's Dent leaking ahead. Gets his shot blocked. Coleman-Jones, and they may end up calling this a goaltend, and they will. But San Diego State high-flying tonight on their home floor. They're up 11, and it's highlight after highlight. Bird flying through for the down. San Diego State by 9 here, 15:49 to go in this ball game as New Mexico got a bucket on a goaltending call, which the officials are reviewing right now. And in looking at it, this one may end up getting overturned. Casey, what do you think?
This is absolutely a good block. He blocks the ball, Coleman Jones does, before it hits the glass, right? It's really tough to tell in real time, but we've watched this replay now 5 or 6 times, and to me it looks like he touches it and then it ricochets off the backboard. This should be wiped away, but I've been wrong before.
So the officials are trying to sort that out. Meanwhile, San Diego State has done such a good job defensively in this game. New Mexico, you were talking earlier about the runs the Lobos have gone on this season. New Mexico has not had a scoring run longer than 5-0 tonight, so it's been tough for them to string together stops and scores. And shooting just 32% right now are the Lobos.
Yeah, no one really for the Lobos has a rhythm offense.
Call on the floor, goaltending stands.
Wow, they're going to say goaltending stands.
I'm surprised.
Interesting.
I'm very surprised because to me it just didn't look like there was, to me it looked like there was clear evidence. Obviously they thought different, right? So the call on the court is really critical. It's like when you watch NFL and college football games too, right? The call is really critical. There must be, definitive proof. But to me there is proof right here. He touches the ball and then it ricochets off the backboard. To me that it's pretty clear. I think that's a break for the Lobos.
Well, the Lobos need something to go their way tonight. It's been tough sledding for New Mexico here in San Diego. Now they pick up full court. And get the takeaway. Nelly Jr. Joseph and Donovan Dent with a collision on the baseline. Everyone's up and okay. The last 2 guys in the world, if you're Richard Pitino, you want to see collide. And it's going to end up staying San Diego basketball.
Nelly Jr. Joseph's got great defensive instincts. Of course, he started his first 3 years at Iona, played for Rick Pitino, and now is in his 2nd year playing for Richard Pitino. 2 guys who know how to teach defense. And Nelly's he's always had good defensive instincts, Trent. I think what's been really fun to watch his offensive game really improve now in his 5th season of college basketball.
You can make the case that the Nelly Jr. Joseph breakout game was when Iona and New Mexico played each other at the pit a couple of years ago, with Nelly Jr. Joseph playing for Rick Pitino's Iona team. Now playing for Richard Pitino as the 2nd leading scorer, leading rebounder, one of the best players, one of the best bigs in the Mountain West Conference. But so far he has been held in check. It's been slow going for Nelly Jr. Joseph tonight. New Mexico finds themselves down by 9. They're having some fun here in Viejas. You look right behind those 2 guys. They never give up on eligibility at San Diego State. How about what we could see in college basketball this year in the tournament? Both Patinos could be getting in. This is an amazing story, Casey. What Rick Pitino's done at St. John's and what Richard Pitino's doing at New Mexico. An amazing year for both guys.
Oh, it's one of the better stories in all of college basketball, and we got a bunch of them. This season has been a lot of fun. But what Rick Pitino's done, St. John's trying to win their first Big East title since 1992, at least a share of the Big East title. They might do it outright. They haven't done that since 1985, St. John's. And Richard Pitino, what he's done in his short tenure at New Mexico. New Mexico, though, Trent, we got to say, has a strong basketball tradition. He's kind of just upheld it.
That's absolutely right. As New Mexico gets the rebound on the miss here, is Joseph now with 10 rebounds. He's had a tough time scoring. It was funny, though, talking with Richard earlier today. He's like, yeah, I'm happy when St. John's wins. I'm a lot happier when New Mexico wins.
Of course.
Right now, his team down by 7, but they get the bucket to stop the drought after getting a stop coming out of the timeout. So that's just what the Lobos had in mind.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all, Trent, when both of these teams make the tournament, New Mexico and St. John's, that the committee pits them against each other in the 1st or 2nd round as Pharaoh Compton gets another dunk.
That's what he does, and now a turnover. That's what the Lobos can ill afford. Meanwhile, Boyd all the way coast to coast. No whistle, a lot of contact. Boyd a little slow to get up. He slipped and hustling back. More contact off ball as Compton and Nelly Jr. Joseph go to battle in the paint. 47% of the shot attempts for Pharaoh Compton on the year are dunks, and you can see why when he gets a little bit of space.
Absolutely. San Diego State, Trent, has 7 bench points. They all belong to that man right there, making the extra pass there. That was DJ Davis, who has had a really nice all-around floor game. Talked about DJ Davis' defense. He's 2 for 2 from the field and an assist right there as well.
Donovan Dent, tough look, doesn't drop. And it's not easy for Dent. He's got 11 points in this game. He needs some of those to start falling for the Lobos.
Yeah, all of this stuff comes right at the rim. It's all contested. Donovan Dent only has attempted 1 3-pointer. Again, that's not what he wants. Not a great 3-point shooter in his career.
Seen inside for Coleman Jones, who was fouled on the pass. So not getting free throws here. Call that one on Milicevic. Boyd Dimba. Bird, a little bit of space, gets his shot blocked. Closing in tight was Dent. Well, he had space, and a split second later, Dent was all over him. Now Donovan Dent on the other side, creating a little bit of space himself, and he gets fouled.
Well, Dent drawing the assignment defensively on Miles Bird. Brian Dutcher loves to run him off multiple stagger screens on baseline out of bounds plays. And they're a risky defensive play, if I'm being honest, to try and block a 3-point shooter. Sometimes that goes awry. That time it works out for the Lobos. And how about that tippy-toe save by True Washington?
Foul off ball. Be against San Diego State, and they're going to call this on Taj de Gorville. Just his first. Foot race for Nelly Jr. Joseph and Pharaoh Compton, and Nelly Jr. Joseph just throws it off him to get a little bit more room. 18 on the timer, so plenty of time for New Mexico, but with as good of a defensive team as San Diego State is, you get to the half court, Aztecs are about as tough to score on as any team in the country, as Washington left a 3-ball short. Offensive board for Nelly Jr. Joseph, and then he gets fouled.
Now, when you play against this Aztec defense, you have to move the ball crisply and precisely. You also have to be good at screening. You can't just, screen with your shoulder or, ghost screen. You have to put bodies on people and make this Aztec team move, because if not, they don't budge.
Nelly Jr. Joseph has 11 rebounds tonight because 1 point, a double-double machine. I mean, he's had 56 in his career, 4th most of any active player. And you look at some of the names of just again, double-double machines across college basketball. 8th leading rebounder in the nation, Joseph is.
Yeah, on that list is Janai Broome, probably the leading candidate for Player of the Year out of Auburn, along with Cooper Flagg from Duke. To be on a list with Janai Broome in 2025, that's where you want to be.
De Gorville gets rid of it with the double team. Boyd underneath, Compton down low. Joseph closing in, forces the turnover. Norland up ahead, gets hit there by Boyd in transition.
Richard Pitino, Trent, right now is begging the officials for a flagrant foul on that one, and I disagree. I thought it was a smart foul in the open floor. You can pretend like you're going for the ball and reach for the wrist, and he's not going to get it. But I was so impressed with Nelly Jr. Joseph, his ability to come and contest a ball screen basically near half court and then also recover and contest at the rim. That's impressive.
We're starting to feel this intensity ratchet up here inside Viejas Arena, San Diego, California. Donovan Dent thought about it, shooting. Milicevic got it from distance.
He has not missed a shot in this game. He's 5 for 5, 3 for 3 from deep. Credit Donovan Dent, who could have taken it, called his own number, and instead hits that click pass so his big man can step into one.
Milicevic was really good a couple of games ago against Air Force and Wyoming, but then the last two games was scoreless and didn't make any shots when he was having to fill in for Almseal, who was dealing with a foot injury. Now he's back to a more familiar role coming off the bench, and right now the freshman is New Mexico's leading scorer with 13 points.
Yeah, if you'd have told Richard Pitino that, I think he'd have a smile on his face, but he'd also be asking, well, where's my main guys, Dent and Junior Joseph?
Into the corner for the Gorville. He's got to get it off in time. I don't think he did. That's a shot clock violation. And now all of a sudden the Lobos start to create some momentum as their defense has held San Diego State without a bucket in over 2 minutes.
Trent, you and I thought that this game would be a low-scoring game. You mentioned the score of the first matchup. San Diego State only scored 48. And it was a struggle for both teams as there's going to be an illegal screen here on the Lobos.
Atiki Aliatiki, hard screen. You see him a little bit when Nelly Junior Joseph needs a blow or gets into some foul trouble, and that time the illegal pick turned it over. This is Boyd. Wayne McKinney trying to get something going. Buried the mid-range too.
And when we talk about Wayne McKinney III, we talk about him as one of only two San Diego locals here, but he comes off the bench looking to score.
Donovan Dent gets fouled on his trip. He'll have some free throws coming up. Boy, when the Montezuma Mesa gets rocking, it gets rocking. And right now, the Aztecs with a 7-point lead on their home floor against rival New Mexico. One of the best atmospheres on the West Coast. Rocking tonight here in San Diego. Plenty more when we come back.
In the Aztecs' biggest home game of the season, it's not on any one guy to get it done. They got to do it collectively. The ball has been moving in both halves. That's why they have a 7-point lead right now. 12 assists for the Aztecs on 18 made field goals. Nick Boyd, you see that one right there? He leads the way. He's got 6, and this was the prettiest one of all in the second half to Miles Bird for the Duck.
Talking about the 12 assists for San Diego State. Meanwhile, New Mexico has turned it over 12 times, so the Aztecs doing a good job on both ends of the floor with a 7-point lead right now. San Diego State trying to topple the top team in this conference. In New Mexico, it's been the Lobos' year in the Mountain West. For the last decade has belonged to San Diego State. They're trying to hold serve after losing at the pit earlier this season, the most lopsided defeat the Aztecs have had all season. Just a 2-possession game as Dent makes both free throws. It's back to 5. And when you look at this, it's kind of like nothing has gone right for New Mexico in this game, except here they are. And that's a foul against Donovan Dent. That's his 3rd.
Yeah, a mistake there, but I agree with you, Trent. It feels like New Mexico should be down by like 15 points. They're shooting just 34% from the field. Nelly Junior Joseph's got 0 field goals. Donovan Dent's 4 for 11. And you look up, they're getting offensive rebounds. They're getting to the foul line and making enough at least to stay within striking distance here.
To Gorville. Yeah, the Lobos just do not go away. I mean, there's a reason why they have been the top team in this league all year. Heidi down low. Patient gets his 2 points.
The defensive rotation there from Nelly Junior Joseph was a second late. He's got to be there early by the charge circle.
Underneath Joseph. Hard to get a paint touch for Joseph right now. Then the 3 guys on him. Donovan Dent. 10 to shoot, has the mismatch on Heidi, gets the roll, Donovan Dent delivers.
You know defensively when you're going against Dent that he wants to put the ball on the ground, that he's not going to settle for those threes, and yet you still can't take it away because even when you slide and put your chest in front of him, he's got an array of shots and runners and floaters that he can go to.
Dent is just a special, special player. It's led a New Mexico team that saw so much walk out the door from last season, and they're better this year. McKinney, contact, no whistle and a miss.
The fans wanted a foul.
And that would have been the 4th on Dent. That would have been huge. Norland to the bucket, second chance. Newton Joseph can't get it. Boy, thinking about that play, I don't know if that was a foul or not on Donovan Dent, but if it would have been called a foul, it was really risky. And to pick up 4 right now would have been huge. 90 underneath, 7 seconds. DeGorville launching. He converts. .7-3 tonight, and then an answer from Donovan Dent on the other side. Things heating up, and a whistle here at Viejas Arena. Timeout on the floor. 5-point lead for San Diego State. Started with the Aztecs on one side getting this from DeGorville.
Yeah, Colin Jones thought about shooting it himself, made that pass late, but DeGorville was ready. He was shot ready for about a full 4 or 5 seconds before that one. And then Donovan Dent, I told you, he doesn't take a lot of them, but if you consistently go under ball screens and dare him to shoot it, he will pick his spots. And while not a great shooter, he's been clutch his entire career, now a junior, and he knows that he's got to turn it on right now. This is so much fun, Trent, because it feels like San Diego State is starting to play really good ball, but New Mexico situationally is doing everything that they need to.
Donovan Dent is putting the Lobos on his back. 18 points, the team that has been the best in the Mountain West all year. Utah State's been right there. Colorado State was in a close one at Air Force tonight, ended up pulling away in the second half. And then you got San Diego State and Boise State. Those top 5 all could make a case for the NCAA tournament. The Mountain West continuously has gotten 3-4 teams into the big dance.
Now, last year, the Mountain West got 6 teams. That was a record that beat the previous record. I believe that was set in 2015. And the Mountain West Conference trend is young, as you know. It was started just in 1999. And this conference is going to look a whole lot different in 2 years as San Diego State's going to make the move to the new Pac-12 with Gonzaga. But right now, let's just enjoy the Mountain West that we have, huh?
Well, there's been a lot to enjoy. This is as fun of a basketball conference as you're going to find as Farrell Compton gets hit by Nelly Jr. Joseph going up.
Farrell Compton almost put Junior Joseph on a poster.
and we know he has that ability. I mean, Compton has already had some big-time finishes in this game. And we know he struggles at the line, was 1 of 2 earlier. Just over 30% of the season. It's a second made free throw.
Yeah, just watch the trajectory, though. It barely goes over the rim about 2 feet. And so when he makes his free throws, it's usually back rim and down.
That time a miss is New Mexico can't handle the rebound, and San Diego State's getting it back. Untimely turnover for the Lobos. He just cannot give San Diego State extra possessions. And now an illegal screen, so the Lobos will take it right back.
Yeah, I saw that one coming.
That one on Compton.
Yeah, saw that one coming a mile away. They ran that same play for Miles Bird to get a catch and shoot opportunity in the corner, the one that was previously blocked by Dent. And you just got to hold your ground as a screener.
So that the third on Compton. McKinney and Bird each have 3 also. So foul trouble has been a theme for San Diego State. That 3 miss on the right side. Boy, Vichanen couldn't get it. Inside of 9 minutes, McKinney transition tray is a miss. And now Donovan Dent looking to push for New Mexico. Turns on the Jets, gets to the hoop. Oh, but he missed the lay-in. How about Nelly Jr. Joseph, though, for his first bucket? Gets the putback.
It's got to feel good for him, man. I was about to comment that there's no way the Lobos are going to win this game on the road unless Nelly Jr. Joseph wakes up, gets some touches, and makes some hay down there. But credit Donovan Dent. He missed that shot, Trent, but it was good that he even got it on the board.
And while San Diego State has controlled this game, it's starting to get quiet inside Viejas. That means New Mexico's got things going. Washington, transition floater, missed. Good transition defense by the Aztecs. Now McKinney to the hoop. Gets hit going up, and he'll have a couple of free throws. This was a big bucket for Nelly Jr. Joseph, finally taking the seal off just a moment ago.
Yeah, sometimes, Donovan Dent misses this shot, but it's still a good look for your team because he draws two guys, which means Nelly Jr. Joseph is going to be single covered on the back side for that rebound. And I don't know of anybody in the Mountain West that can get this guy off the block, just one person.
I mean, we can talk about Joseph not scoring much tonight. He hasn't, just 4 points, but 13 rebounds. For the nation's 8th best rebounder, leader in the Mountain West Conference. And he has really done a good job in that area. And even though it's not like he's missing a lot of shots, 1 for 5. It's tough getting him a touch right now.
Yeah, San Diego State defensively has made it their priority to front Nelly Jr. Joseph and not even let him get touches. It isn't about how we're going to play him when he gets the ball. It's like we're going to completely wipe him off the board.
Here's Dent up top inside of 8 minutes to go in this game.
Look at the double team down low.
The hot hand has been Milicevic, but he missed, and now San Diego State a chance to extend this 5-point lead. Berg the step back, pull up tray! And that is what is drawing attention from NBA scouts. Dent on the other side can't get the lay-in. Second chance, swatting. That was Coleman Jones. Ball still loose and a whistle. It's going to be Aztec basketball when we come back, but Miles Bird's shot has Viejas soaring in San Diego.
Gets away with a little shove, but I'm not mad at him. The junior lefty stroking it, and San Diego State trying to pull away here.
The fastest racing on earth is coming to Fox. The 2025 IndyCar season gets underway in St. Petersburg. The first stop on the road to the Indy 500. Sunday at noon Eastern, live on Fox. San Diego State with an 8-point lead over New Mexico. And Casey Jacobson, my name is Trent Rush. Casey, what a job the Aztecs have done defensively limiting Nelly Jr. Joseph tonight.
Yeah, they're taking away the Lobo center. Watch number 23 in red. As he rolls, he now has a guard defending him, B.J. Davis. He's fronting him on the front side. But watch the zone on the backside, that double team. So the Aztecs are willing to give up this type of three as long as they take away the touches of Nelly Jr. Joseph. It is working so far. Nelly only with one made field goal on the game, just 4 points.
Brian Dutcher, the defensive guru. Down in San Diego, Miles Bird gets that free throw. Lead for San Diego State on their home floor. 7:15 to go in this game. As these Aztec fans try to continue to lift the spirits for San Diego State. It's given a lot to cheer for tonight. Nolan nearly taken away. Good pass to Washington in the corner. Just doesn't fall. Omsil, second chance. A lot of contact, no whistle.
Nice block there from Coleman Jones. And I thought Amstel forced that one. He could have kicked it out and got another possession.
Nick Boyd gets hit on his trip after the crossover move, and now San Diego State has an opportunity to extend this 6-0 run. Meanwhile, the Lobos just can't buy a bucket. They've missed 6 straight shots in 8 of their last 9 as Richard Pitino wanted a whistle on that last play. First foul shot for Boyd is good. San Diego State tonight, 10 of 16 from the stripe. And a 12-point lead for the Aztecs, and then some extracurriculars after the play. It's the largest lead for San Diego State this evening.
Yeah, a little arm wrestling here. I thought Farrell Compton probably going to pick up the foul here. Watch, number 22, number 5 in white. They both get tangled up, but right there, that little push at the end is what often gets called.
So they end up not calling anything, and they'll say it essentially offset. As Compton goes back to the bench, he got a technical in the final 2 seconds of the loss at Utah State, a player that is developing his maturity, a freshman from Chicago, who's had some explosive plays tonight. Donovan Dent gets it to drop, and has a chance to turn 2 into 3 as Dent tries to spark something for the Lobos.
Trent, how often have you and I seen Donovan Dent make this type of shot? He is so good. Watch him jump and hang in the air, and the soft touch that he just puts that ball up on the rim / glass. He's just, like, his touch is unique. There's a lot of times guys that don't have touch, that ball just, you know, smokes it on the other side of the backboard, but his ball softly drops in the rim.
21 for Donovan Dent. I mean, he has carried New Mexico in this game. Where would the Lobos be without Dent? They'd be in a world of hurt. Down by 9. San Diego State with the basketball. It's Boyd. Running out of room. Coleman Jones missed the 3, and a high rebound ends up going to Norman. Milicevic, the freshman, blocked. Coleman Jones was there. Trying to save it out of bounds was Junior Joseph.
Well, San Diego State, we mentioned, they do not have Magoon Guath, who is 5th in the country in block shots, but Coleman Jones has certainly done his job. San Diego State with 7 total blocks as a team. Well, it's not just Guath.
Donovan Dent pull up, long 2, rattles out.
Oh, that was a double dribble.
That's going to be a double dribble. Yeah, they called it. Coleman Jones, an unforced error, gives the ball right back to New Mexico.
Well, Brian Dutcher's got to be happy with the way that his team has shared it. And they're shooting 47% from the field, and everybody's getting a taste, right? 8 different guys have scored.
So much balance. Meanwhile, for New Mexico, Donovan Dent's 4 of 9 in the second half. The rest of the team, 4 of 17 since the break. There to end that drought. Milicevic converts.
Yeah, he has got it going. That's his 4th 3. And like most of his 3s tonight, Trent, haven't touched rim. They are just like going right through.
Well, those 4 3s, a season high. I mean, Dent and Milicevic have combined for 37 of New Mexico's 55 points. Inside of 10 seconds to shoot. Boyd's going to fire a tray of his own and answers. Right when the Lobos get back in it, Boyd comes up with a response. Junior Joseph down low. Able to absorb the contact and finish for 2.
What a pass from Donovan Dent, who put on a dribbling exhibition over there and then just rifles a laser pass to Junior Joseph for his 2nd bucket. This is, the 2 lead guards in this game are doing work. Nick Boyd right now with the ball and Donovan Dent. Like if I was these coaches, I would trust these guys with the ball in their hands.
Boyd is San Diego State's leading scorer, 14 points rather, 6 boards, 6 assists. Outside got a stop blocked. Transition tray, why not? No. And Boyd comes all the way up with the rebound. Under 4. 7-point lead for San Diego State. They were up by 4 at the half. It's never been closer than that in the second. It's a 3 missed by Bird. Washington spins right around him. No, just couldn't get the layup. And boy, the Lobos have missed so many at the bucket tonight.
Yeah, Washington really having a tough one tonight. 1 for 9 from the field. And what's interesting about True Washington is offense is vital to Lobos' success. They're 16-0 this season when number 3 in red scores in double figures. He's far off that. He only has 2 tonight.
New Mexico has taken 10 more shots than San Diego State has, but trails by 7 for now, make it 9. Jared Coleman-Jones, his breakout as an Aztec, coming in maybe their biggest game of the season. San Diego State with a 9-point lead. JCJ all night long. They know how to party in Southern California. San Diego State with a 9-point lead over their rival New Mexico with 3:09 to go in this game. As you look at Brian Dutcher's team and trying to get back to a 5th straight NCAA tournament, a quad 2 deliverance for San Diego State so far tonight. They're trying to close out.
I mean, we started the show, Trent, talking about this is the biggest home game that San Diego State's had all season, given the circumstances, where they're at on the bubble and what New Mexico as a team, the problems that they pose. And San Diego State has really turned it to another level here in this second half.
Jared Coleman-Jones in double figures for just the 6th time this season. He's got a dozen, has been excellent for the Aztecs. Donovan Dent wills that one through the hoop.
Are you serious with that? That was incredible defense by Miles Bird, and it was almost like Donovan Dent threw up a curveball that went in the basket.
Lobos got to get a stop here. Just over 2.5 minutes to go, down by 8. Bird to Heidi. Extra pass gets taken away by Nelly Jr. Joseph. So that's the stop New Mexico needed. Junior Joseph slips right off the iron. And this is going to be ruled San Diego State basketball.
Oh, this play is so nice, we got to see it twice. Donovan, I don't even know what you do with this right here. Excellent individual defense. He's falling down. That ball barely got over the cylinder, and somehow, like, I don't even know how. It dropped in. Miracle. And man, San Diego State defensively continues, though, when they need a stop, they deliver.
One of the best defensive teams in all of college basketball. And has been a staple for Brian Dutcher's Aztecs. Continuing the Steve Fisher era. The legacy. Nick Boyd. Behind the back. Ten-point lead inside of 2 minutes to go. Dent comes back with a 3. Timeout New Mexico. They'll have 1 remaining. Donovan Dent trying to do everything he can to lead New Mexico back in this one. But man, Nick Boyd has been unreal tonight for San Diego State.
Watch him lean in to C.J. Nolan like that. Knocked him back towards the baseline and then uses his left hand. Look at the spin that he put on that as well. Really impressive, but the answer. Who is it? Like, if I'm Donovan Dent, I don't ever pass. For the next minute and 37 seconds, I'm not sure I'm passing to any of my teammates. No disrespect, but they haven't earned it in this one.
You see how the starters have performed for the Lobos. 26 for Donovan Dent. And Nelly Jr. Joseph, second leading scorer on the season, just 6 points in this game.
Yeah, 2 made field goals. The only other Lobo that that brought their offensive game was Milicevic tonight. He's got 16 off the bench, does the freshman.
They'll put an extra second on the clock, so 98 seconds left. San Diego State by 7 as New Mexico picks up full court. Bird able to break the pass up ahead to Heidi. Yes! Maybe the dagger. Dent can't finish. Tagorville gets fouled. And Miles Heidi, in his 6th career start, may have just come up with the biggest bucket of the night.
I love that the Aztecs didn't pull this basketball out. That they broke the pressure, because they easily could have just stalled. Instead, if you got a dunk, take it, right? If you stall and then New Mexico maybe fouls you, you go to the foul line. No, if you got a dunk, hammer it home, and then get back on defense and do it again.
Miles Heidi, 10 points, ties a career high. 4 different Aztecs in double figures. Oh, they know how to party. And San Diego State has had plenty to cheer about tonight. Up by 10. Minute 16 left. Saved. Trying to get the pass to Norland, and that's a turnover, and Dent, none too pleased. With San Diego State up by 10 with 68 seconds left, and you can start to feel it here at Viejas. It's the Bird. A bucket here would officially put it on ice. And Bird has no problem taking his time. Boyd ready. Six to shoot. Boyd over the top, missed it all. Rebound out to New Mexico. They got to go quick. Donovan Dent, why not? Bervichinen converts the tray back to 7, 31.6 to go. That's the final timeout called by Richard Pitino. Nick Boyd has absolutely led the way for San Diego State tonight. 16 points, 7 boards, 6 assists. A captain, a leader. He's got his Final Four experience and has lifted a very balanced Aztec team this evening.
And Brian Dutcher can't afford to take this young man off the floor. He's played nearly 35 minutes in this one, and you can see why. But we talked about him being the emotional leader. Well, tonight's the statistical leader as well. Strong left hand. He's probably the smallest player on the floor, but he's got the biggest ticker. And in big-time shots, he wants the ball in his hands, much like Donovan Dent does for the Lobos. And Dutcher's done it again, Trent. I mean, it seems like every year San Diego State has a bunch of homegrown players that can play defense, and then they go out in the transfer portal and they pluck somebody here, somebody there, and they put them in this offense to give them a spark. And this season, it's been Nick Boyd.
About as close to a must-win as San Diego State has had all season at home against New Mexico. Less than 30 seconds away from a quad 2 victory. They still have 3 left after tonight at Wyoming, at UNLV, and then back home against Nevada, a game which will be on FS1. But Brian Dutcher trying to lead this team back to the NCAA tournament. And should they be able to hold on tonight, this win could go a long way for the Aztecs.
Yeah, but, you know, don't tell that to Brian Dutcher. You can't look ahead or assume you're going to beat any of these teams that are remaining on your schedule. Remember, UNLV was one of the teams that has won here in Viejas Arena, one of the 3 teams that is won here at Viejas Arena. And the Aztecs still have to go to UNLV on March 4th.
Trying to save it. Shots missed. San Diego State is going to win this ball game. Bird across midcourt. A season split between the Aztecs and the Lobos. Mountain West basketball at its finest tonight. And it's San Diego State that topples the Lobos, and they leave the victors this evening. So an 8-point win for San Diego State. Casey, this was a team win for the Aztecs.
It really was. This game felt like a team, the Aztecs, versus a bunch of individuals, the Lobos. And Brian Dutcher's got to be pleased. In deep February, these type of wins go a long way.
Well, now a share at the top of the standings in the Mountain West between New Mexico and Utah State. Both teams 14-3 in conference. San Diego State 2 games back with 3 to play, but a big win for the Aztecs tonight. It was a dunk fest early on for San Diego State. They never trailed in the second half as the Aztecs took care of business. For my partner, Casey Jacobson, my name is Trent Rush. Thanks for watching Mountain West College Basketball on Fox, where the Aztecs take care of business at home. Good night, everybody.